So, what is cruise control? In this simple explainer video, we hope to explain all the difference between radar cruise, normal cruise, and everything in between. Put simply, cruise control is an electronic system that enables you to stay the same speed and take your foot off the accelerator pedal. There are different types of cruise control. Modern cruise control has a sister counterpart called radar-guided cruise control, or more commonly, adaptive cruise control. It can be called a variety of different things depending on the manufacturer. Dynamic radar-guided cruise control, smart cruise control. Most of these are laser or radar-guided systems. The system essentially slows the car down that you're driving or speeds it up dependent on the vehicle speed in front of you. And if the car's an auto or an EV, it can actually stop fully and resume driving after the car in front of you is set off. So to summarize, cruise control is an electronic system that enables you to stay the same speed in order to remove your foot off the accelerator pedal. And adaptive cruise, or radar-guided cruise control if you will, adjusts the vehicle speed to maintain a safe distance from the vehicles ahead. So, without further ado, let's go through how you use these, starting with a base cruise control. So to make it easier for you, I've switched over to a Mazda 2, which should make it slightly easier to film, a little bit more room in here than the MX-5. Most cars have the controls on the steering wheel, although it could be on a stalk as well. And most cruise control symbols, well, they look like this. As you can see, there are a few varieties and types. This symbol will be either on the steering wheel or on the stalk. I have even seen it as a button on a car before. Some cars don't even have the button at all. They'll just have a set button to set the cruise control because the cruise control is in a standby mode at all times. So the first thing we need to do is enable the cruise control. In this one, it's called mode, but it's right next to the cruise control symbol. Could say on, could say a number of different things, but crucially, it's normally the button next to the symbol. That will make a symbol appear on the dash. It can be the cruise control symbol with a few dots next to it, like it is on here, or a few dashes, I should say. It could be a yellow or orange cruise control symbol. And what this means, if it's appeared on your dash, is that your cruise control is in standby. It's ready for instruction. Now, next to that symbol, or nearby the symbol, or on the stalk, there will be several other buttons. Pretty much in every car, you'll get a plus and a minus. You'll get a resume, you'll get a set, and in some cases like this one, which is why I picked this car, it has a cancel button as well. So to set this cruise control at your desired speed, now that it's in standby mode, you simply click set. Although it could be plus, depending on the model of car. Now I can remove my foot off the accelerator pedal and I continue going at the set speed, in this case 20 miles per hour. I could press minus if I want to go down by 1 mile an hour, or plus if I want to go up by 1 mile an hour, and it will slow up or speed down depending on that. If I'm braking like I am now, it will actually disengage the cruise control and it will go back to a standby mode, as it were. And in most cars, if you have a manual anyway and you put your foot on the clutch, it will disengage as well. And then you can just press the resume or res button and it will go back to the desired speed. Or you could click set again and determine a new speed. In most cars, if you hold down the plus or minus button, it will jump up or down by 5 miles an hour until you release the button. And that really is cruise control. Some cars like this one have a cancel button as well. All this simply does is it cancels it without having to put your foot on the clutch or the brake pedal. So let's move on to its slightly more complicated sister, radar-guided cruise control, or adaptive cruise control. If you're enjoying the video thus far, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. That way I know to do more tutorials in the future. So first things first, all you have to do is turn on the cruise control button. The difference between the cruise control button and the radar cruise control button is very simple. The radar cruise button has a little car symbol that's next to it usually. You put it in standby mode as you did with the normal cruise and you click set. Near the cruise control button there may be a road with some markings on it. It could be a toggle switch like it is in this car, or you could even have a car with little symbols that go in front of it that indicate distance. Push these and you can change the distance to the car in front. And that distance isn't a set distance either. So if you're going slowly, it might be 1 car length. But if you're on the motorway, it could be even longer than that. The idea being that obviously your braking distance increases depending on how fast you're going. And now I don't need to touch the accelerator or the brake pedal, technically. The car has slowed down to 20 miles an hour because there's something happening in front of me. I'm not touching the brake or the accelerator. Accelerating will make it go past the 30-mile limit, and if I remove my foot from the accelerator, it will actually go back down to that set limit. Obviously, I can adjust it with the plus and minus buttons or the set button, much as regular cruise control. And obviously I've got the cancel, resume buttons, and they work in exactly the same way as regular cruise. So if I press cancel, it makes the cruise control go back into standby mode. I press resume, it goes to my last resume speed. If I click set, it will go to the speed I'm going to. Press and hold minus or plus, and it will speed up or slow down the car to that desired speed. And if I hold it, it will go up and down by 5 miles an hour. The difference being, if you have a manual car, usually because it's a manual, it will only work above a set speed. Most of the time it's somewhere around 20 miles an hour. And obviously if the car slows down beyond that, it will disable the cruise control and have a warning on screen, because otherwise you'll stall the car, and nobody wants that. And if you've got a hybrid, or if you've got an electric car, much like this one is, quite often it will actually use the regen braking to do most of the slowing down, actually charging the batteries as you slow down. The only other thing to say is, a lot of this information will be on the dash when you're using it, the distance, the speed you're going, etc. But if you have a car with a head-up display, this one's got one for example, it will also show it in there as well. One final note, you may actually see the cruise control symbol these days with a little steering wheel that's on there as well. That, at the moment anyway, generally means there's some sort of autonomous driving mode. It will lock onto the car in front using the radar and then use the lines to keep you on the road and assist in the steering wheel pushing you depending on which way the car's going. But as it's part of the semi and autonomous driving modes, I don't really want to go over it today. Just want to focus on the simple stuff. And that, to be honest, is pretty much everything. Make sure you subscribe to see more and like the video. And don't forget to check out the video that's on screen. That's a video showing how regenerative braking works. And see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.